going to talk about home health care, and we're going to do that with some folks from an organization we've talked about before. It's called Right at Home. With us this morning is the executive director of Right at Home. She is Laura Hintz. Laura, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being with us today. Also with us is a caregiver of the year, and she is Jackie DePass. Jackie, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being with us. Laura, let's start. And Laura, by the way, has a whole host of initials after her name. She has a bachelor's and a master's of science in nursing, and is also a certified dementia professional. Let's talk about Right at Home from the perspective of what it does as an organization and what it doesn't do.
Okay. Right at Home is a non-medical home care agency. So we provide those non-medical services that are designed to keep people independent at home so that they don't have to go to an assisted living or a nursing home. It is not skilled care, so it's not the nursing and the occupational therapy and the physical therapy perspective of that. It is the personal hands-on care, companionship, transportation, medication reminders, all of those little things that are needed to keep people at home.
Are there clients who have both, where they use you for that personal care, as you describe it, but also have medical needs?
Absolutely. We work together as a team with our home care and hospice companies because obviously the skilled agencies don't stay in there long term, and then we complement each other, and then we stay on long term.
Out of curiosity, we'll get this out of the way up front. What does insurance think about it, and how do they react to it?
So insurance typically doesn't cover private duty. However, long-term care insurance does, so that's one aspect. As far as coverage goes, you can get some coverage sometimes through the VA if you're a veteran. And now an exciting new thing is the Medicare Guide program. And this is the first pilot study that Medicare is doing in relation to dementia diagnoses. So if someone has a diagnosis of moderate to severe dementia, and if they have traditional Medicare, Medicare will pay for $2,500 of care a year for 7 years.
$2,500
of care.
Okay.
Yep, $2,500 of care a year for 7 years. And it's a pilot. Again, I think this is their first opportunity to look at, is there a need to cover private duty because they've never covered it before? And if we can take advantage of this and show the need, I personally am hoping that then maybe down the road they'll look at Parkinson's or ALS and other diagnoses.
And it's important because, someone living with a partner who has dementia now becomes a caregiver, and they're untrained, and it becomes their life in many ways.
Correct. And
so
causes
they really
burnout.
need the support of an organization like yours.
Yes.
So, Jackie, how long have you been a caregiver?
Since 1997.
Oh, wow, you've been at it a while.
Yeah, I have.
And Laura, how did you get chosen as caregiver of the year?
Well, let me tell you, that was not an easy task. So obviously, Jackie does all of the work, and she's an exceptional caregiver. She's consistent, and she shows up, and she's been reliable, and she demonstrates excellence of care year after year. But what we actually have to do is we have to, obviously write this all up and submit it and prove to everybody how amazing she really is. And that's not necessarily an easy task. So again, this is a huge accomplishment to beat out, over 1,000 to 2,000 caregivers.
Wow.
Yes, across the United States.
Well, this isn't just a local award.
Not really. She was running for National Caregiver of the Year, so
Right.
across the United States. And then what they do is they break it down and they give one to each territory. So she ended up being the Regional Midwest Caregiver of the Year.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. And did it require support from others?
It did.
in her-
It did. And honestly, so in not just taking our word and our input from it, I actually reached out to a hospice nurse, a palliative care nurse practitioner, families to get feedback. I actually brought a letter from one of the hospice nurses that really tells you the story.
Let's hear it.
Okay. All right. So I am writing this letter to share what a pleasure it has been to witness the compassionate caregiving of Jackie DePass. I've had the pleasure of knowing and working with her for approximately 6 months with a mutual patient. In that time, I've seen firsthand just how extraordinary she is, not only as a caregiver, but as a person. It is evident that her past experiences and knowledge guide her future in caregiving. Jackie has a beautiful combination of compassion, patience, and dedication that makes her truly stand out. She consistently goes above and beyond for those in her care, treating individuals with genuine kindness and respect. Whether it's taking extra time to complete tasks or finding small ways to brighten someone's day, she does it all with a selfless and caring heart. For example, I have observed small yet compassionate acts such as preparing a person's favorite meals, providing dignified personal care, and advocating for those who can't advocate for themselves. She's also one of the most dependable caregivers I have met. Being a hospice nurse, I take pride in my work and can only pray that each of my patients receive the exceptional care that Jackie provides for her people. You can always count on her to have an excellent and reliable update for whom she is caring for. She does her job with integrity and handles every situation calm and with professionalism. Her determination to provide the best possible care never wavers, even in challenging circumstances. I honestly cannot think of anyone more deserving of recognition for exceptional care. Jackie represents the very best of what it means to be a caregiver, compassionate, reliable, and devoted to making a difference in people's lives. I can say with confidence that anyone under her care will be treated with the utmost respect, kindness, and dedication.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, Jackie, what drew you into home care?
Many times I've been asked that. It's not what I wanted to do, it's who I am. So it's just a field that I just feel comfortable in. I've done a lot of different jobs. Home care is where my heart is.
And you've been doing it consistently since
97, yes.
So when you go into someone's home, what kinds of things can you do?
Okay, when I first meet a patient, I get to know them, know what their needs are. I tell them a little bit about me, so I'm not a stranger in their home. We sit down, we make a plan, and I execute that. So if it's one day taking them to the doctor or cleaning house, you're actually the mobile part of them. So whatever they want to do.
Now, even though you don't provide medical care, can you help them with making sure, for example, they take their medications at the appropriate time?
Absolutely, yes. They have to have, they're usually in boxes, to tell what they take when. And when you get dementia or Alzheimer's patients, you may have to remind them more than once to take it. And they'll say, I already took it. Nope.
Pill's still there, right?
Yeah. So that helps.
And typically, how long do you spend in someone's home?
It can be anywhere from 4 to 12 hours.
Oh, wow.
Depending on what the patient's needs are. I believe we have quadriplegics. Of course, they need 24/7 care. Bed-bound people, which
that's an interesting point about 24/7 care. I mean, do you have home health folks that spend overnights and things of that nature?
Yes, we do.
So literally you provide that 24-hour care.
We do. We do.
Wow. All right, we're going to take a break, come back, and we'll talk more with our guests from Right at Home here on the Art Lewis Show for this, what is today, a Wednesday? Yeah, midweek already. My goodness. We'll be back.
You never thought...
Hi, we're back with you in studio with me from Right at Home Health Care is Laura Hintz, Executive Director, and Jackie DePass, who is the Caregiver of the Year for this whole region. Laura, how does someone sign up for Right at Home? What's the protocols and what happens?
So typically clients reach out to us looking for care, and it's typically, unfortunately, sometimes in a crisis or last minute moment. But when they reach out, we do an intake call, and then we offer to come out and do a free in-home consultation just to like explain our services, explain how we do things, discuss paperwork and stuff and how care gets set up and what kind of hours or schedules they might want, what kind of needs the family member might have. And then we get them scheduled typically within 24 to 48 hours. I mean, we can get cases started very fast. So it's just a matter of us doing a meet and greet, getting an introduction, kind of getting to see their home to know what to expect and what their needs are. And then we get care started.
Have you had any problems finding caregivers? Where do you find the Jackies of the world?
Okay, well, so as you know, there is a
Too bad
caregiver
you
shortage.
can't see facial reactions here, folks. But
True. So yes, there is a caregiver shortage, which means it is even more difficult to find these exceptional caregivers like Jackie. But again, typically I have a really good HR department that when they are screening people and interviewing people, they're looking for people that have that passion, that have the ability and want to take care of people and make a difference in their lives. But it is not easy to find them. It is not.
And what kind of training do they have to go through to become a caregiver?
So people can come from a wide range of training, and that's the one thing about caregiving is we can teach procedures, we can teach best practices, we can teach protocols, but you can't teach somebody to have that nice, compassionate, caring heart. So if we can find that person that has the caring heart, we offer all kinds of training. We've tried to develop career paths for our caregivers so that if they want to specialize in dementia, if they want to specialize in hospice care, we want them to grow. We offer leadership training now is a new one that we want because we want them to see the importance of the professionalism and setting a higher level of standard of care.
So what do you do with a Laura who becomes a caregiver Jackie who becomes the caregiver of the region?
What do we do with her? So it's actually, so honestly, we have kind of bragged about her and promoted her, obviously, amongst everybody. But honestly, even on the way here, I was thinking, what more can we do to really get caregivers to want to jump on board and raise their standard of care? And I actually think that if we did something like a celebration of some kind, and not just, it doesn't have to be just Jackie. We have weekly awards.
Yeah.
We have Caregiver of the Month awards, right? So if we recognize all of these people that have stood out at one point or another, and again, let these other caregivers see and maybe even listen to the letter that the nurse wrote of why these people stand out, that they might want to step up and improve the quality of care they give and the standard of care.
And for you, what's the best part,
Of
Jackie?
caregiving?
Yep.
Making a difference in someone's life. I walk in there and I don't think of them as a patient. They're just an extended family member, and I do whatever they need done. That includes pet care. I'm an animal lover. So
little things you don't think of. Right? That was the last thing on my mind. But
Right,
people
yes.
have pets.
Yes, I always tell, when I'm explaining it to new clients, I say, we do everything that's needed to keep people at home. So it can be from walking people, walking animals, changing the linens, flipping a mattress, planting flowers, weeding, helping you with the garden because they like their flowers and plants. I mean, it's those things that improve taking them fishing. It's what improves their quality of life, whatever that is.
Does the care differ for dementia?
Slightly, yes. I mean, you have to be a little bit more, relaxed. You can't tell dementia clients what to do. You have to be very good at redirecting. So it is a compassionate, calm, patient, empathetic persona that you have to be able to display.
Is that part of your
I have
deal with
had
dementia?
dementia, Alzheimer's patients. They're challenging, but every day is a new day. We'll just walk in and see what we're going to get.
You really don't know sometimes, do you?
No. The office would tell us, hey, it took one lady, I was with her for 3 years, and the first two, I kept thinking, they misdiagnosed her. She had some memory issues, But then it went downhill quickly the last year, and I went, wow. And
Yeah,
there was,
that's an important point because there are stages of dementia.
absolutely.
We also should point out not all dementia is Alzheimer's.
Correct.
There's dementia which just can be, you're forgetful and things of that nature,
Right.
but not life-threatening.
Correct.
And that term can be long care. That can be
Yes.
for a long, long time.
Yes.
It can.
Unfortunately for them, it sometimes just drags on.
How much of what you do is designed to relieve other family members of those tasks?
I would say a big chunk of it, depending on how involved the family is. Sometimes they're like, "Oh, it's all yours,"
Yeah.
and sometimes they want to know everything, what's going on, and so daily phone calls if needed. You're not just working with a patient; you're working with the patient's family, so the patient and their family, and sometimes they don't agree with what we're doing, and we have to explain this is why I'm doing this. So it's a
So learning.
you
Well, when
have to balance.
When you get into a situation where you're going to be dealing with a dementia patient, do you sit down with the family to do the plan?
If the
Because the
family,
dementia patient probably isn't capable, right?
depending on how
Sometimes.
far they're at,
Right.
yeah,
And typically, what happens is with every client, it doesn't matter if it's dementia or not, our client care manager goes out and does the in-home consultation assessment and builds this care plan. When she's building the care plan, she's asking the family everything from their likes, their dislikes, their routines, their favorite TV shows, their favorite food, so that when a caregiver goes in, and we do what's called a meet and greet on those first shifts so that we can introduce the caregiver, review the care plan, go through the home so that everybody's very comfortable. Then we are keeping things very consistent for the client, because that is another important thing for dementia clients, is to keep things consistent. So we do have that care plan that's built by the client care manager, and then the caregivers all review it and have that.
Just out of curiosity, as a percentage, how many of your patients are dementia related versus other things?
That's a really good question, and
Is it a high number?
I would say yes. I would probably say I'm going to say 60%, because we have, I would say dementia is one of the highest diagnoses. Then we have hospice, and then we also have a new form of care that we're providing to some clients in nursing homes. So they're in nursing homes. They're long-term skilled nursing home residents. So a lot of them just naturally have the dementia. But
It is, it's one of those things you wonder how research is coming in finding causes and cures.
I know.
And it's not easy.
no.
No.
It's not. However, there is some progress being made with Alzheimer's, because I'm the co-chair for the Alzheimer's Walk, and so we know that they are making some. Yeah.
She
we'll
wears
get
a
to
lot of
that.
hats.
Yeah. So anyway, they are making some progress. It's little.
Well, there's been a lot of effort.
Yes.
There's no doubt. It's forefront because it's so significant in the country. I'm 83. Of course,
Sharp as a tack.
well, so what I tell people is my mind tells me I'm 50. My body tells me my mind's a liar.
I'm starting to get that feeling.
I'm going to take a break. We'll be back with our guests after these notes.
Hi, I'm Katie.
Back with you. The organization is Right at Home. And with us, the executive director. She is Laura Hintz. And also with us, the caregiver of the year, Jackie DePaz. So let's talk about, the variety of services and how you pair up with medical health care. You go into a home, you start at point A, you stop at point B, and home health services starts at B and goes till C or whatever. What's that line? What can you do? What can't you do?
Okay. So that is actually a good question. And sometimes I look at it as though maybe the home health skilled part of it starts before we do, but sometimes at the same time. So let's take like a wound care, for example, okay? Because skilled home health does the wound care. They're going to come in. But nowadays with insurance, the home health nurse will come out. She's going to do it 1 or 2 times, and she's going to expect the family to learn. If it is a simple wound care, our caregivers can be trained. It has to be a simple wound care.
That was going to be my question.
Yeah, we're not doing any complex wounds or anything, but if a simple dressing change, or emptying a catheter bag, type things. Nurses are not going to be able to continue to come out forever, and we will train our staff to do whatever it is that's needed to help. Again, it's all about keeping the client in the home because, for example, another example, we had a client that was in an assisted living, and she had a Foley catheter. Technically, in the assisted living, she wasn't allowed to be there with a catheter. But the daughter was an RN, and I was able to help with the catheter, her and the daughter. And so I would help the daughter with that so that she could stay there, and our caregivers would just empty it.
But you were providing it on the medical side.
Yeah, well, I wasn't. The daughter was. But
right.
yes, we were
but
just
you
helping.
both
her
had
get-
the credentials.
Yes. And so there's that fine line, but we are kind of, I guess, like Jackie said, an extension of the family a little bit, in where somebody has to be trained because the nurses can't stay there. Even with exercises, physical therapy, they're going to come out and they're going to teach the exercises. And when a patient plateaus and isn't improving anymore, they're done. Well, our caregivers can continue those exercises. They can help the clients to continue to do them daily, 3 times a week or whatever it is.
There's nothing else to maintain the plateau.
Maintain that plateau, correct.
And what's the difference? We often hear the term CNA.
Mm-hmm.
What's a CNA versus what your home healthcare people are?
Well,
Or
there's
no
honestly,
difference?
that not a ton other than the certification. So obviously CNAs go through anywhere from a 2 to 6 week program typically, and they are certified through the state. They have a state certification. We have a wide, our staff, our caregiving staff, it could be people that have been doing it for 20 to 30 years. It could be a medical assistant, it could be a home health aide, or it can be a CNA. We have a couple girls that have gone back to school and gotten their CNA. So they all, in our field, they're all doing the same thing, but they may have the different backgrounds. That makes sense.
Is there a reason that, for example, Right at Home stops at the basic home care services and doesn't expand into the health area?
I mean, if we wanted to, we could, but it would involve, once you start doing that, now you're going to be billing Medicare, right, and billing insurance. So now we have to go through JCO.
That's where I was headed.
Yeah, we're going through all those certifications and everything, and we'll have to take care of all that. So there's a whole nother level of accreditation and services, and we'd have to employ nurses, right? Obviously, bring some nursing staff on. So it would just be another step.
Other than specialized policies for extended home care, like Medicare doesn't cover that, does it?
Private duty, no.
No, doesn't cover that at all. So you really,
Other than the new guide program.
which starts when?
It's already started.
It already started.
Mm-hmm.
And what's that going to do for you? Because now all of a sudden you're going to have to deal with it, aren't you?
So technically, with the guide program, we do not, because it goes through a third party. As far as that goes, we're just providing the services, and then the third party does the Medicare billing part of it. Yeah, that.
But you still have to deal with somebody to get paid.
Yeah, yes, we have to deal with that third party company, correct? But that's not been a difficult situation.
Hasn't been an issue.
No.
And you said it's for what, 7 years?
It's for 7 years.
Is this a trial program or
Yes.
is this embedded?
No, it's a trial. It's a pilot.
And do you have any idea how it's going so far? What the response
It is growing. It started off slow because, again, it's getting, so when you find when you identify a client that has the dementia and the traditional Medicare, then we have to go to this third party. We have to put them through this intensive approval process. In-depth nursing consultation and assessment and the meds and a doctor's note stating they really do have a diagnosis of moderate to severe dementia and have to get approved for the program. And then once they're approved, then we can start the care.
And the key here, as I hear it, is that moderate to severe.
Correct.
if you're having initial stages of dementia, you don't qualify, right?
Technically, no.
Technically, no.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It probably means whether or not what you can get that doctor to write on the script.
That's exactly where I was going.
But technically, that's the wording.
But that's where you, as a team, all have to work together. You, the healthcare provider, doctor.
Yep.
Everybody has to work together on
Yes.
the same page.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, we'll take one more break. We'll be back to finish up with our guests as we talk about home health care and right at home, and also our caregiver of the year for the region, Jackie DePass, with us.
Got a home repair problem? Don't get mad.
Home. And let me ask Laura Hintz, who's the executive director. Right at home, is it a national movement? Is it the franchise thing?
It is a franchise, but we are locally owned.
Local, Jim
Yep.
Gall is
Jim Gall.
heads it up. Jim's been here quite a number of times.
Yes, he is.
And Jackie DePass with us also, the caregiver of the year in this region. I want to talk about veterans a little bit more because their benefits are a little bit different, aren't they?
They are.
What do they get? For
Well,
example, if they need home health care or home services like you provide. I keep saying home health care, but it's not health care, is it?
no, it's home care.
It's home care.
I know.
Leave out the health.
Yep, without the health part of it. Yep. So, in my opinion, it can be a little bit tricky and complicated. And I actually was on a conference yesterday. There's a couple different benefits. The one that we typically deal with the most is for those that are vested in the VA at the VA hospital. They go there, they see the physicians there, and if and when they need services, which by VA's definition typically has to be, VA doesn't want to pay for us to come in and cook or clean, right? So they are going to need probably something more of a personal care or even standby assistance safety if they can't stand, transfer, walk, those kinds of things, safety measures. But they have two separate benefits there. One is called the home health aid benefit and one is called the respite benefit. So on average, veterans will get anywhere from maybe 3 to 16 hours a week of what they call the home health aid hours, okay? And then in addition to that, they can, if they qualify, get additional respite hours. And that number is usually a little higher.
We just, it just seems to me whatever we can do for our veterans, we should be doing.
Absolutely.
Period.
We try our best to help them.
End of story.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of who comes into my home, how much choice do I have?
It is 100% your choice. So that's one of the nice things about our client care manager doing the in-home consultation, because again, that gives her a chance to meet the family, the client, learn the client's maybe demeanor, personality, and then when she comes back, we can work with the scheduler to pick that caregiver that probably is going to be the best fit. And then we always tell family, if it isn't, please tell us, and you can switch, you can change caregivers, we can be flexible. But some people like people who talk a lot, some people who want people who are quiet and give them their own space. It is very individualized, and we are very flexible.
So let me ask this. Caregivers have to come into my home. I want to know who they are, obviously. How much vetting do you do when someone applies to be a caregiver?
We do quite a bit. We do several background checks, interview processes, reference checks, and some other, looking into their backgrounds or those types of things.
Because
so
in reality, it's a liability, isn't it?
It is a liability, and we want, like I said, we want good people with high standards of care.
Once that caregiver is determined, and once I, as a patient, am comfortable with that caregiver, how long do I have that caregiver for?
As long as you want them.
No changes. Nobody comes in and says, well, we're going to change for you, no?
Not typically, and no. Not unless, a caregiver were to, take another job or have school or something else.
Obviously,
Like that. But we don't.
If they're not available.
Our number one goal is continuity, to keep those same people. We do like to try to have 2 people introduced in a home, though, no matter, and again, the number of caregivers depends on the number of hours, of course. But again, You never know when somebody could be sick or in an accident or something could happen, and you always have that backup caregiver that you already know.
All right, so you've sent in the case manager to assess, and you've decided that Jackie is the perfect person for that house. So you say to Jackie, here's an assignment, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do first time you walk in a house? What's it like for you, Jackie?
I go in, I introduce myself, I sit down, I talk to them, I get to know them, they get to know me. It's very important that they know who's in their home with them and what I'm about.
Are you providing services the first time you go in, or is this
If they
just
need it, absolutely. Yeah.
so it's not just a meet and greet?
No, I mean, it just depends on how the patient is feeling. Do they just want me to get right at the housework and make a meal, or do they want to sit? And a lot of our patients, it's companionship. So they may not see people for days, but you come in there and all of a sudden they've got someone they can talk to.
Which begs the question, where's the family? But not everybody has family left.
Exactly.
That I understand. The ones I don't understand are the ones that have family left and they kind of get abandoned.
Yep.
It's
That
a
does
sad
happen.
commentary, isn't it?
Yep.
We see it a lot, unfortunately.
That's a sad commentary.
It is.
It really
I think
is.
every once in a while we'll come in and the family's like, okay, I'm done. You're there. You can do it, which is fine. That's what we're paid to do. But I couldn't imagine leaving my mom to someone like that.
No, and that's, you have to wonder what goes through people's minds. And I understand, if you have someone who you love and they're suffering through dementia and what have you, how difficult it is to be a caregiver. But to have somebody walk in my house and say, okay, it's all yours, bye, that doesn't make sense to me. I can't process that.
Right.
No.
It's too bad. All right, so let's to finish up with this, Laura. Someone thinks they may need your services. What do they need to do to get the ball rolling?
Well, all they have to do is pick up the phone and call us at 989-486-9557. They can also visit our website, right at homenorthernmichigan.com. We actually have a form on there now where they can actually, inquire about care right from there. And we would be happy to talk to them anytime.
And it's important. It's right at homenorthernmichigan.com.
Correct. Correct.
As opposed to just right at home, because that takes them to the national site, right?
The corporate site, correct.
So there you go. Well, listen, thanks for being with us today, Laura Hint, Executive Director. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
And our Caregiver of the Year, she is Jackie DePaz. Jackie, thanks
you.
for being with us. And thank you for joining us. Coming up, we'll tell you what's ahead on Focus.
Ready to update your home and
The WSGW Morning Team Show. Weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, I thank our guests from Right at Home. Coming up on Focus, we're going to focus on Carleton's School of Choice. All of that is ahead. But before we get there, we have news from ABC, the national and international news, and we have the local report with Michael Percha in the WSGW newsroom. I'm Art Lewis. Talk to you right after the news.
Broadcasting from the